Oh, hello there. Okay, right. So, this idea came to me when I was lying in bed, when I was meditating. It came to me that I could do more talking and thinking and speaking whilst I'm doing other stuff. And something I actually really enjoy. I think I do my best thinking in the morning when my phone is off and on airplane mode, like right now. I spend probably 2 to 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours, just like doing my own thing, contemplating, doing yoga, filling out my journal. I just I like to think, and when I go online, I can feel my mental energy, psychic energy, I don't know what to call it, but I can just feel like a lot of information coming in and my mind going out. So I do my best thinking in the morning, oftentimes whilst like just having coffee or, chopping up fruit, something like that. So I've got the bokeh blur on the background, so you aren't going to see too much of the kitchen. But it gives you like a feel, it gives you like a setting, So I'm going to be walking around the frame in and out as I prepare my coffee and I chop some fruits. And the topic for today, which I want to contemplate with you, speak about with you. Also, look at this great little, this great incense holder. It's like a lotus, very cool. Oh God, there's a spider in here. Jesus Christ. Looks really quite dangerous. Okay, that's unexpected. There's a spider like kind of hanging out, hiding underneath my incense holder. So today's topic, I want to speak about whether, if something, how do we know, and whether is something is a gift or a test. A gift or a test. This is something I've been really contemplating in the past days. I'm not sure what it is, but I've noticed that around this time of the year, kind of like August, September, lots of gifts seem to like come to me. Lots of interesting opportunities and things, and even romantic opportunities, and business opportunities and things just kind of, for sure. I receive gifts often anyway, fortunately, but I also give a lot of gifts too. I'm always giving gifts. Do you know what I mean? I'm always, but definitely around this time of the year, it seems to be a time where a lot of things seem to come in all at once. And I'm not sure if that's even a good thing. I'm not sure. I actually don't know what that, is or means, because it's led me to ask this question and to obviously host this conversation about if something is a gift or a test. Now, how do we know if something is a gift or if it's a test? How do we know if something that's entering our lives is for us or for somebody else, right? Because, each and every one of us has our own particular idea for what reality going well looks like. Everyone has their own vision, their own manifestation, their own vision board, whatever it may be. Some don't, that's fine, but everyone, all of us, we all carry some kind of story of how we want things to go. We all have ambitions, desires, dreams, right? Wants, needs. So all of that information is kind of bouncing off of each other's information, and this is what makes life so interesting, because everybody is like right at the edge of the unknown all of the time. But people think that they act like they know what's going on, You have 7 billion people on this planet right now, right? Let's talk about people who are like, conscious or using their frontal cortex. To say, let's take off 1.5 billion, right? Because they're children or they're old. Let's just take off 2 billion. So say we have like 4/5 billion people who are like conscious, able, minded thinking humans, right? It's quite funny to think that of all these 5 billion people, nobody has any idea whatsoever what is going on, or what's going to come, or what's going to happen in, 2 weeks, a month, or even less than that, a week, 3 days, a day, 12 hours from now, 6 hours from now. Like, no one can know, ultimately. I mean, even a minute from now. So we use these techniques to navigate the unknown parts of life and also the unknown parts of ourselves and each other, right? We have these visions, we create stories with our mind. We model information in our heads to be able to place a bet, make a judgment on the unknown future based on information that we have. So that's all well and good, right? But obviously each person's calculation is very, very different. Each person's vision is very, very different. Each person's wants and needs and desires are very, very different. So you have all these potential pathways that are opening up. And what actually happens in reality is, you have to just find out. Anyway, so coming back to this idea of a gift or a test. So, okay, this is quite meaty. I'll try to just kind of slice through this bit by bit, piece by piece. So the first thing that comes to mind is that if something comes into your life, right? A new business opportunity, a new romantic opportunity, a new perspective, some kind of gift, something, let's say, hey, you're a designer, and a new client comes on saying, hey, Mr. Designer, you're an amazing designer. I really want to work with you, and I'm going to pay you 3 months, 6 months up front. I'm going to just pay you double, triple what you normally pay, because I really want to work with you. So at the outset, a person may think, oh, wow, that's a gift, right? More money equals more stuff. I'm going to plan a future, to be able to travel, to buy new equipment, whatever it may be. But then there's also a test element, because, maybe you have been through a change of career, and maybe you're not doing that thing that you once did that the person wants to pay you double, triple for. I've seen it in myself and in friends before, where normally at the kind of the tipping point of a life change, career change, something good will come to you as actually a test to see if you're ready to finish doing that thing that you was doing, right? So actually, it's a test. It's a test disguised as a gift, right? And I was speaking to a friend just yesterday about that, where this person knows that they don't want to be doing that particular work anymore, but people keep on coming and keep on asking. So they're like, okay, cool. Taking their money, thinking that's going to be, thinking that it's a gift and things are getting better, but actually they're not. They're getting further and further away from their particular aim, their goal, their target, the thing that they actually should be doing, right? So, a gift or a test. Say, for example, you're a person who's been, in the market for a new relationship, right? And this person, you're holding in mind this vision of this person that will whisk you away, and you'll live happily ever after, right? So if you still create love stories in your head, just beware of that, because people that create love stories in their head are particularly vulnerable to, just very, very vulnerable in general, because it's like you create this illusion in your head about how something should be, and then the person seeks to validate that model, that vision in their head of how things should be, and because of that love story vision, they actually just completely miss what's actually happening in front of them. So just be careful, if you're the kind of person that has love stories, you kind of like project, manifest love stories, I would recommend not doing that in general, because it's probably better to actually just be fully present in your experience and just tap into and sense what's happening in your body and really try to understand the person in front of you. Because if you have some like vision, some dream man, dream woman in your head, like you're gonna just try to fit everyone and everything into that box, right? So in this instance, a gift would be, oh, I've met my dream girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. You know, you're thinking, wow, fantastic. And it's like, okay, you know, say for example, you're approaching that gift from a place of having a vision, and then a person comes that matches that vision. You're thinking, hey, great, fantastic, jackpot, ding, ding, ding. But the trouble is that you don't know what the quality of your vision, the quality of your manifestation, you don't know, perhaps you can't know, well, I guess you can know, the quality of energy that you put into that vision, that manifestation, is always what comes back. So if you have some like worry or fear or frustration about love and romance, or there was some like worry, or you recently broke up and you wanna find someone new just to kind of feel some connection, and you know you really want to push to find someone, and if there's any energy in your vision like that's fearful or anxious or worried or impatient or stressed or frustrated, that's going to be in your that's going to be in your model, right? So what's happening there is that you'll probably attract someone and bring someone in, and it'll be fine, but it probably will look like a gift, but it will actually be a test. And I'll explain why. Because you've put out an image of something that you think that you want. And there's this complicated thing about wanting something, because when you want something, you can't really ever know if that thing you want actually is good for you, because you have to really check in and do some deep diving to sense whether the thing you want, where it's coming from. Because if that want is coming from fear, stress, worry, frustration, impatience, well, the thing that you receive is probably going to be bad for you. Probably isn't going to be a good thing for you when that thing that you want comes to you. If it comes from that place of like frustration, pushing, rushing, you know, anxiety, stress, frustration, you know, it isn't going to be good. But because here's the thing, right? A gift or a test, this is why it's complicated. Because that thing that comes from that place where you had an impatient manifestation or a stressful manifestation, it comes and it's actually both a gift and a test. Because on the one side, you think that you've got what you wanted, so you're happy. But on the other side, the thing just shows you what you were putting out into the world, and it shows you where you are in your understanding of a relationship, for example, or your understanding of where you are in your business, for example. It just shows you where you are with things. And it's like when you realize after 2-3 dates that this person isn't actually a good match for you and just reminds you of a loop, a pattern that you were in, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. So I shouldn't keep on doing that thing that I used to do, because that's going to take me somewhere I don't want to be or I don't need to be. So it's a gift disguised as a test. And that's often what happens. So say, for example, it's you know, you're the entrepreneur and you've become successful doing a certain type of work, and you know in your heart that you kind of want to do something else, and there's a new opportunity, a new thing emerging, but you don't do it because you're still making money and it's fine and it's comfortable, and you know you have nice things, and you know it's just easy doing the same thing over and over again because it makes money. And then at some point a client comes and you just feel wrong. You just feel like, actually, you know what? I actually don't want to do this. You know what? It actually isn't even worth the money. I just don't want to do it, you know? So that could be a gift, again, disguised in the form of a test, because The test is whether you're willing to actually, whether you want to go back to do that kind of work that you did before, right? Happened to me 1,000 times. So it's like, you have to be like, actually, no, thank you, no. You know, you have to actually be in a position to say no when you realize that something is a test. So this is where I get a little bit stuck in my contemplations about this, because how do you know when something actually is a gift? Like, surely life isn't just here to just like punch you in the face over and over. Or maybe the biggest gift that life gives us is to help us to understand ourselves. Maybe the whole purpose of this, you know, this reality, this simulation matrix, is just so that we can just finally get to see ourselves, what we're really like, you know? So when you want something, desire something, manifest something, the next time I talk about that, because that's a whole thing I want to talk about, manifestation, the amount of garbage I hear about manifestation, it's just ridiculous. So I want to give my 2 cents on that at some point soon. Anyway, gift or test. You want something, you think you've got a gift, it's actually a gift disguised as a test that helps you see who you are and where you are with things. That's the first thing. When it comes to a test, when it comes to an actual gift, a gift normally comes to you disguised in a form of a test, or just unexpected and not something that you kind of put some words around to try and manifest. It just like arrives. And then the gift comes, it's like, it comes as a test. It's like, oh, whoa, like what? You know, it's obviously a test because you weren't expecting it. It kind of hits you. But then it can become a gift downstream when you realize that actually this thing that's came at you unexpectedly is actually trying to show you like where you are and actually where you can go from here. Something like that. Something like that. I have to spend some more time thinking about this, really, honestly, truly. Because if it's a gift, normally it will come to you unexpectedly, but actually it will have the same energetic signature. It will have the same quality. It will invite to you a quality of energy, a quality of experience, a quality of. It will bring something to you that you didn't quite expect, but it's kind of taking you a bit higher, or taking you somewhere interesting. It's taking you somewhere that actually probably would be a good place to go. Or it reminds you of, it kind of touches you in those places where you want to be touched energetically, experientially. It's like, oh, actually, yeah, you know what? Actually, you know what? That actually is something that I want to go to that place. Yeah, I actually want to go there. Let's go. You know, so a gift often comes, it kind of comes in unexpectedly, seems like a test, and then shows you that it's actually a gift, and what's happening probably is kind of good for you. So just some thoughts there. So yeah, in summary, tests come in forms of gifts and vice versa, because gifts, when you think something's a gift, it's also a test. But when you think something's a test, it probably is also a gift. So it's kind of, there's no final bottom line here. You know, the point is that you just, you know, it's opportunity for you to always just think about, you know, something a gift or a test. Because the test is showing you where you are. The gift can show you where you are with things. But don't fall into any particular illusion around what a gift could be, right? Because we can use our minds to envisage the perfect gift, but how often do we use our mind to envisage the perfect test? Do you know? Like, we think about things as being like, oh, great, I want this thing, now I have this thing. But how often do we think, oh, I want this test? Like, oh, I want life to test me today. Like, I want to be tested by life to see my level of integrity around business. You know, it's like, no one thinks that. People don't think that. I think I'm done talking about this now for today, gifts and tests. But just take some time to look at this as well in your own life. When you've thought of something as being a gift, but it actually has become a test that shows you who you are or where you are. And also when something just came to you unexpectedly, and it's tested you, and then you realize downstream that it's actually like a massive gift that you could never have like visualized or manifested or vision boarded on your own. It's just like, hey, here you are. Here's this thing that's good for you that you wanted right now. You ready? You ready? It's like, and if you get too caught up in like manifestations and visions and like, illusions and stories, try to like ease off the stories, This is what I always tell people, like, ease off the manifestations a little bit, because people get so like obsessed and like in this like, thought loops and patterns and visualizing so much. And it's like, it's cool. Like, I get why a person would want to do that, to get themselves energetically kind of moving towards something using their mind. But there's just like so much that you can't see. There's just like so much happening all of the time that you have absolutely no idea of. And you can barely see into the future 10 minutes from now, let alone 10 days or 10 years from now. So it's just like, I get it, we manifest and we create these visions to be able to cope with reality because things are so unknown and so uncertain. But just where you can, just come back to a place of presence, just like just really try to get clear on what's actually happening in front of you right now. Like right now, actually look at what's happening in front of you and where things are right now, because that's the place of clarity from which you really can see life, and if you're so unclear because of illusions and stories and visions, you can get quite lost in that. Try to see what's going on, try to come back here and have a look at what's really being gifted to you, right? Because it isn't always some awful test. Okay, that's enough for now.